Let's get ready to rumble. Today is game day, baby. How you doing? How you doing? It is Chris, the Method Man. Grateful and blessed to have you on the pod today. How you doing? How you doing? Hold up. It is Chris, the Method Man. Hold up. Grateful and blessed to have you on the pod today. Without further ado, play my theme music. I gotta get up for this. Hold up. Do what you wanna. Do what you wanna. Do what you wanna. It's game day, baby. It's game day. Come on now. Yeah. Stop that target. Woo! All right, guys. That was a workout. So this is the SWAC pregame show. I am your handsome host, Chris Williams. Grateful and blessed to have you here on the pod today. So today we have the Boombox Classic. As you know, we have the illustrious Southern University, and then we have Poo Poo State. Yes, I said Poo Poo. We have Poo Poo State, Jackson State University, or they say state as they say. So first, I want to talk about some keys to the game. So now I wrote some notes down for my keys to the game. All right. Like, comment, subscribe on the pod today. So keys to the game, as you know, Harold Blood did not have a good game last week, but he gets a pass because this was his first game. All right. So during his first game, he had 17 out of 34 completions, 166 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. During the Alabama State game, there was moments of improvement. He was making plays, making reads. But there was some part during the third quarter where all of that just ended. There was an interception. There was a fumble. He was blindsided. So I feel like for Harold Blood today, he has to prove to Southern University, man, that he's the guy, right? Because there's other players behind him, as we have Noah Bodden. Noah Bodden is the Grambling transfer, and Dylan Murata. He is also a transfer from UAB, right? So also there's the young man from Schuylerville Magnet High School, the true freshman, Zay Tisa. So what I'm saying, folks, is if Harold struggles, who goes in? Right? Would it be Zay Tisa? Would it be Noah Bodden? Would it be Dylan Murata? And I feel like, man, we really don't know, as Southern fans, we really don't know who the quarterback is. Right? So I feel like the job is for anybody. But if Harold Blood can show out, make the reads, make the plays, and just do his job, we'll be all right. Another key for Southern to defeat Jackson State, right? Quarterback Jason Brown, the game before, not the OBC Classic, South Carolina State, he had about 330 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. When Jason Brown is protected, he can ball out. But the key to stopping Jason Brown and the offense is stopping the wide receiver Rico Powers. That's for Jackson State. And also just covering Jackson State receivers as well. But also, a key to stop Jackson State, Jason Brown is not mobile at all. Because I remember watching the OBC Classic, and he tried running, and the guy just sacked him. So that's the key to stopping Jason Brown. We have to really, the Southern defense, we have to really force Jason Brown to be out of pocket and start running. And we also have to stop him from making reads, making passes, But the key to Southern winning this game as well, Jalen Campbell. Jalen Campbell had about 80 tackles last season. And during the Alabama State game, he balled out. He had about 12 or 13 tackles and 2 sacks. Another key is so Jalen Campbell and Derek Williams will be the 2 keys of our defense. Those are the most important players on our defense, and Jordan Taylor as well. You can put Jordan Taylor at safety. You can put Jordan Taylor at safety. You can put him anywhere as a cornerback. So Jordan Carter will be a factor in this game. So, but let's see. So I feel as though if our defense does well, we have an opportunity to win the game. Because I feel like after the ASU game, after watching that last week, I was really disappointed. There was misreads, mispasses. I feel like when Harold Blood was, I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going different ways. But I feel like I was very disappointed last week with Southern because the receivers weren't catching the ball. Harold Blood was missing plays, and I feel like if Coach Julie and the other coaches put this together, then we have an opportunity to win the game. But if Harold Blood struggles in this game, right? If the offense struggles in this game, who's the secondary offense, right? Who's the secondary O-lineman, right? Is it going to be Noah Bodden that starts? Is it going to be Zay T-Set that starts? Is it going to be Dylan Murata from UAB that starts if Harold struggles? But will Coach Julie do that? Because he didn't really take the quarterback out when it was Bashawn McCray. Because I remember last year, Bashawn McCray, he was struggling a lot. But he had 30 touchdowns as well. But there was a lot of inconsistencies with this game. And I hope I'm wrong about Harold Blood, man. But I'm not giving up on the guy. But if Harold gets some things together and he's confident in his throws and he's confident in his game, he's going to be all right. And he's able to pull out a win from against Jackson State. But it all has to come together, guys. It all has to come together. So let's get the call line open. Okay. Any questions? Let's see. So the call on the show, guys, 53295870. And yeah, those were my keys to the game. But also another part. Uh, my prediction for the game is Southern 28-24. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I think it's going to be a mixture of defense and offense on both sides. But during this game, Jackson State is coming off a loss it's coming off a crushing defeat versus FAMU. And Southern's coming off a loss from Alabama State. But if we can actually put some things together and the offense is working and the defense is working, then we have an opportunity to beat Jackson State. We do. We do. But it all comes together to quarterback play as well. Like if the quarterback doesn't do well, the defense doesn't do well. So Harold Blood has to he has to do it today. He just does. Again, guys, the call on the show is 225-329-5870. I would love to hear you. I would love to hear your thoughts about the game. So I also think, guys, you know what? No, I have a bone to pick with Jackson State because I really don't like Jackson State fans. Because ever since Deion Sanders was coach of Jackson State, there was fans in the stadium. But ever since TC became the head coach, there were not any fans at the Orange Blossom Classic. There were barely any in the stands for Jackson State. So I wonder, was that just a prime effect? Because it was Deion coaching Jackson State? Or was it you supporting the team, Jackson State? Because a lot of people only became fans of Jackson State until last year when Prime was the coach. But I could be wrong because like with Southern University, win, lose, or draw, our fans are in the stands. Sometimes we may leave to go to parties or something, but at least we're not like Jackson State, who doesn't even show up for their team. The call on the show is 225-329-5870. I greatly appreciate your thoughts about the game. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Bashawn McCray was very athletic, but after that showing from Bashawn McCray and only playing him throughout the season and not taking him out when he was struggling, that's why I didn't like that Coach Dooley did. I think he's an excellent coach, but at times, man, when you see the quarterback actually struggling and struggling in a game, I don't care if it's the first game. I don't. Some people say that destroys the quarterback's confidence. I don't think so. But what I'm saying is, guys, I'm not going on a tangent here, but I'm saying, um, Coach Dooley, when you see a quarterback struggling or a player struggling, take him out and let him play another day. Because I would rather it's kind of like Alabama. See, when Alabama sees when Coach Nick Saban sees a quarterback struggling, he doesn't keep him in the game to continuously struggle. But God forbid if Harold Blood does struggle in this game, will Coach Dooley humble himself enough to choose a backup in this game? But hopefully I'm wrong about Coach Dooley. I hope I'm wrong because if I was the coach of Southern, if I see my players struggling, I'm gonna take them out of the game and put in somebody else because football is a team game, right? So everything has to come together. Everything, like the offense has to work together. The quarterback has to work. The running back has to work. Everybody has to work in order to win. But if one person is stubborn, like the coach, yeah, I'm saying it, man, like the coach. Don't get me wrong. If the coach is stubborn to not put anybody else in who is a better not better fit, um, who has a better opportunity of letting the team win, then that's on him. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited about the Boombox Classic, man. And it was a big sellout, man. I think this is big for HBCUs. And I wish the game was on College Game Day because a lot of people don't know about HBCUs and stuff like that. And I feel like people really need to know about Southern, about Jackson State, about Grambling, about our rivalries. But I hope Southern does well, guys. I really hope that Southern does well, guys. Because the last week's showing was terrible. I was very disappointed because it looked like the same offense from last year, mediocre at best. Not really anything special. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of athletes. Um, there was a lot of athletes on our team, right, at quarterback, right. But there was no production in the offense from last season, and it just looks like the same off. It looks. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm jumbling my words, guys. But I'm just saying, it just the offense from the ASU game looked like the same from last year's. And I hope that I'm wrong about that. I hope that our record is better than last year's and we can actually get to the Celebration Bowl. But it all comes together, man. It all comes together. Again, guys, the call lines are open 225-329-5870. I would love to hear your thoughts about the Boombox Classic as well. And yeah, man, I would love to hear y'all. Another take, guys. I believe that Harold Blood, he has an opportunity to rewrite his name in the history books, right? As you know, the greats, the Southern football greats, Dre Joseph, Bryant Lee, Quincy Richard, Austin Howard, and maybe Ladarius Skelton. Well, no, I'm gonna say Ladarius Skelton as well. But I'm gonna say for that man, um, I feel like if Harold Blood can actually turn around his showing from last year, last game, I feel like we have an opportunity to do something really special this season for Southern University. I think we have the defense. We have Jalen Campbell. We have Jordan Carter, Ty Judson at corner. We have all these tools, man, in order for us to have a good season, man. But it all has to click together, man. The quarterback has to do well. The quarterback has to be in sync with the defense, right? It has to be like kumbaya. They have to be together. They have to do something. But that only happens is if the quarterback does something this season. It only happens if everything works together and coaching as well. Again, guys, the call lines are open. 225-329-5870. Or comments are open as well. But I do think, guys, if Harold Blood struggles, I feel like Southern, and then the offense doesn't do well, I feel like Southern would go. Southern's record will be like 5-7 at best. Because if our offense is mediocre and our defense is carrying us, that's a problem for disaster. But man, I hope that we can pull this win out, man. I hope that Southern can actually do some things this season, and I can't wait to see JJ Sims back, Legion back, because we need those guys for the offense. Because for our offense, we are very run heavy, right? And we need those guys. They're very important. Kobe Dillon can't do it by himself. The last time we had great wide receivers was back in like 2005, 2010, right? So we really need those guys back. JJ Sims, Legion, and we really need Kobe Dillon to step it up and other people to step it up for us to win. Because to be honest, I feel like we have all the tools to win versus Jackson State. Because Jackson State, they have a okay defense this year. It's not great. Because FAMU put 28 points on them. And now I feel like Southern, like if we really run the ball down Jackson State's necks, we have an opportunity to win the game. All right, guys. This is Chris the Method Man. Y'all stay blessed. I was hoping for some comments today, but yeah, I hope the game it goes well, man. I hope Southern does well this season. I hope Harold does well as well. Because after having 17 out of 34, 166, one touchdown, that's not good enough for us to beat Jackson State, right? Kobe Dillon has to be on his job. Jalen Campbell on defense has to be on his job. Everybody has to be on their job this season, guys. Like I'm not worried about this season, but if Coach Dooley sees that Harold Blood is struggling and doesn't take him out that game, we are in trouble because of the coach's ignorance. We are in trouble. And if we can't run the ball like we usually do against Jackson State's defense, we in trouble. We are definitely in trouble because that's basically our offense. Our run offense is basically our offense. And we're missing two guys, Legion, and we're missing JJ Sims, power back. Those two guys help our offense run smoothly, and we're missing those guys. So with Kobe Dillon, he needs help running the ball as well. Last time that Kobe Dillon played, he had 300 yards versus UAPB. That was back in 2021, and that was about almost 3 years ago. But he had some injuries and stuff like that. So he will have to have a big game today for Southern. And also our defense has to be together as well. Right? Jalen Campbell can't do it all by himself. It has to be Kelby Givens, Derek Williams, Ty Judson, and Jordan Carter. Everything has to work out in this game, guys, for us to win versus Jackson State. We can't just have our defense on the field the whole time thinking that we're going to win the game. Because you can't win games just on defense. I mean, you can, but it's not durable, right? But man, if we can really run the ball down JSU's necks, and if our defense holds JSU's offense, we're gonna do well. We're gonna do well this season, guys. But also, guys, man, the Boombox Classic is a time, man, where our culture, our people can come together and congregate. And I wish this was a sponsored classic, man. I grew up like 10 minutes away from Southern University, and I remember always going to be in the suite, being a part of the Boombox Classic, just watching JSU's band, watching Southern's band go at it. And that's just an awesome feeling just to see, man. And like you see a lot of people that you know from high school there, and it's like every time that Jackson State comes here, man, it's like a pre-homecoming, but it's not homecoming though. But I love the competition. I love the band beef. Like it's just an awesome feeling just to see that. And the food is good as well, guys. So yeah. But hopefully, guys, Southern can really put this out. Hopefully they can pull it out. I also want to talk about the Pete Richardson Classic. A lot of people call it the Boombox Classic because of the bands, and a lot of people there for the bands, etc. But I feel like the reason why they call it the Pete Richardson Classic, because back in 2008-09 was Gustav, and that was a terrible time for Baton Rouge. A lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people lost power for days, months. And during that time, Southern had a really bad season, right? We won 7 out of 9 games. We weren't good. We were terrible. Brian Lee was the quarterback. But Brian Lee, I'm not putting blame on Brian Lee. Brian Lee was a very good quarterback for Southern University. But during that time, man, somebody, a part of the administration, They fired Pete Richardson. Now this man has won he has won a Black National Championship in 1993 with quarterback Eric Randall, who's now principal at Glen Oaks. They fired Coach Richardson because of the bad season. Coach Richardson only probably had like 3 bad seasons at Southern. It wasn't many. But every year that Coach Rich was the head coach at Southern University, we won. Every year. Or we were in contention for the SWAC championship. I'm not saying we were at the SWAC championship, but we were in contention. That is why they call it the Pete Richardson Classic. Because they're trying to make amends with Coach Rich for taking his job during that time. Because during that time, people were going through it, and there was an economic collapse as well. That's why they call it the Pete Richardson Classic. And I feel like, man, I just feel like during that time, they could have given Coach Rich grace, right? This man has won the 1993 National Black Championship, won in 1995, 97. But they chose to do that to him. This man was just looking for, continue his career at Southern. No matter how much time he has as coach. He was a great coach for us. But yet, somebody chose to fire Coach because they were losing. Because of Katrina, because of Gustav. I remember those were our 2 losing seasons. And Coach Rich didn't have many. Coach Rich should have had his job. He should have kept his job for many more years to come. But if the Southern athletic directors are trying to save their butt and call it the Pete Richardson Classic to make amends with him, that's sad. Because the only thing you could do is just apologize to the guy. He respect you for it. But yeah, guys, that is why it's called the Pete Richardson Classic and not the Boombox Classic anymore. So I'm Chris the Method Man, guys. Y'all stay blessed. You have a good one. Go Jags. I hope y'all kill Jackson State and eat the tiger for breakfast. Me. Yeah. So go Jags, go Tigers. Y'all stay blessed. See y'all later. Peace. That was